How would you describe awakening in your own words? Because there are so many
Yeah.
different.
Yes, the word awakening is used in many different ways. It's probably, again, nothing's the best word for what we're talking about. Awakening sort of works for me. I don't like enlightenment. It implies there's something to be achieved. Awakening is probably one of the best words because it's awakening to our true nature, awakening to the self, or you could say awakening from the dream. And the dream I'm referring to is the dream that we get caught up in our daily life. It's the dream that the thinking world creates. That when we have a thought, one thought or another, thoughts tend to sort of spur the imagination. You start thinking a thought, and then you start imagining a situation that might have happened or could happen, whatever. And then we have this imagined world. We start thinking about how things might be, what somebody said, or whatever. And that becomes a sort of dream world that we're dreaming in the middle of our waking life. And so we're going through the world, doing things. Maybe we're, driving down the road, but our mind is actually in some imagined reality that we're thinking about. That's the dream. And so the waking up is actually waking back up to the present moment. Here I am, stepping out of that dream that the thoughts create, and then coming back to being here in this moment and knowing this is who I am, the one who is aware of all this, rather than the character in the dream. And the character in the dream is what I call the personal self, and the personal self is me, Peter Russell, with all my memories and attitudes and beliefs and all that stuff. That's the character in the dream. But the real me is just this sense of I that is experiencing this, that is experiencing the dream, that is experiencing the thoughts. So when we step out of the waking dream, we just step back into the present, and in the present moment just begin to connect back with that deeper inner sense of being that we call me or I, that's been there all along, but we don't notice it so long as we're caught up in the dream. So it's really waking up to the true nature of I.